Now, question, what is the difference between a raw living foods diet and a vegetarian one? Well, vegetarians and vegans believe in only eating a plant-based diet. Living and raw foodists believe in eating only an uncooked, unheated, unprocessed, and organic plant-based diet. Actually, I can modify that because on my side, it's not only plant. It could be also animals, as long as the animal don't suffer. That's a condition for eating animals, because according to my philosophy, animals are just as alive as plants, and plants should not suffer. We should prevent the suffering of plants just as we are careful about the suffering of animals, according to my visions and my spirituality. Is a 100% living and raw food diet best? Well, of course, it depends on everyone, and I will speak about the power of thoughts during this webinar. If you think that what you eat is best for you, can you give an example of what, Leonard? Sorry, I missed the question. If you think that what you eat is best for you, your thoughts prepare your body to absorb whatever the food you are eating in the best possible way. However, if you are stressed, the food you eat can become a poison, whatever it is, even if it is raw food. So your mind has such an impact on your food that you have to consider it in the equation. But I strongly recommend 100% raw food. Of course, that's the diet I recommend to everybody. It's so good. Why would someone want to eat a raw and living foods diet? Well, first, for health, energy efficiency, you help save the planet, and you create less suffering in the animal world, far less. You have a fantastic health. I will share my personal experience shortly. I am reading the website still, which gives the main points about the subject, really. What do raw living foodists eat? Organic, natural foods that have not been processed. How can you tell if something is a raw living food? Well, most foods that have not been processed in any way, shape or form are raw and living foods until cooked. Processed foods, canned, bottled or pre-packaged, are most often adulterated, changed from their original state by heating, additives, preservatives, colorings, salt and sugar. And don't think this is all for your benefit. The benefactor is the manufacturer's profit margin, not you. Try to purchase foods that are in their natural state. This is an important advice. What do raw and living foodists drink? Well, mainly water. Also freshly made juices. Most all drinks purchased at the store, most if not all drinks purchased at the store have been processed, including soda, bottled juices, coffee, alcohol, and most others, and are not included in a living raw foodist's diet. So my diet is pretty close to the raw living food diet. It's a little bit about tea. The raw foodists, raw living food eaters are not drinking cooked water, and not cooking except from the sun, maybe they say. Well, I never even go near this kind of experiment. Now for me, everything is at room temperature. I don't even like to use the fridge, because you can destroy the nutrients with a lower temperature. In fact, think about a food like a living being. It is sensitive to temperature, just like you. Where do raw and living foodists get their protein? That's a question that we often are asked. Well, when I am asked this question, I like to answer. Where do the cows, which are only eating grass, get their protein? Look at their bones, their muscles. Where do they get all their proteins? Just from the grass. You know, to think that we have to eat meat to get our proteins is a nonsense. Vegetables have from 20–50% of their calories from proteins. That's right. All these proteins in just about every living food. If you are eating any variety of living plant foods, you are getting more than adequate protein. That's right. Good point, Sylvain. Protein is part of every living being. There is still a huge, foolish, misguided idea that plant protein is not complete, and you can search the website for more information. I just tell you the most important point to give you the incentive to learn more. What percentage of raw do you eat? You can type it. Personally, it is 100%. The figures I am showing you now on the screen are the ones I took from the website living-foods.com. So I am part of 9.86%. Okay, 50% for bubbles. What percentage of raw do you eat? Let's have a look in the room. If you can type your percentage, it will be informative. Okay, well, think about it. When I decided to eat 100%, it was very important to stick to 100%, and I explain why there's a big difference between 80%, 90%, and 100% according to my experience. I want to say a few words about obesity. You know, obesity is one of the problems of the Western world. Okay, where you can find abundant amount of foods, you find people having huge problems with excess of foods. Sometimes it's just because of processed food. The food is not adapted to their body metabolism, and junk food is reputed to be partly responsible for large amounts of obesity in America, for example. But you know, cooked food has also some handicap compared to raw food because of the depletion of nutrients it produces in the food. Yes, I'm not sure about the belly, if it is real. That's right, it could be the belly of the previous picture here. Looks like an exaggeration, maybe. It could be very well a montage. These images, by the way, are just to comment what I'm saying. It's not necessarily real, but this image that I'm showing now is taken from a website, ibeatobesity.com. So it is, I believe it is genuine. And this is what this lady says about her diet.